can see, it stays perfectly in tune. Yeah. Anyways, so a little bit about the songs that I played. The first one was called We Defy, and the second one was called Back on the Throne. They are from Firewind's new album. It's called Immortals. It came out this year, so I thought I'd play a couple of new tracks for you. But I'm going to play some older stuff as well. Now a little bit about the guitar here. Obviously, it's the new, like I said before, it's my new Jackson signature model, and came out this year. We launched it at the NAMM show earlier in January, which I'm very, very happy about. It's an amazing guitar, really beautiful. Obviously, it's a continuation of the star shape that I used to play for many, many years. But we did some alterations. The most notable one is obviously the look, because we added this bevels and the pinstripe around it, and it really highlights the bevels, and it's just way, way cooler. And we have it in black color with white pinstripes, and also white color with black pinstripes. So yeah, the rest of the specs of the guitar, obviously older body, rosewood fretboard. I love rosewood. Maple neck in the back. 24 fret guitar. Spursel tuners. Stop tail bridge. I'm a big fan of that. I'm not a big on tremolos. A lot of people ask me, why don't you have a tremolo guitar? It's because I used to have one and I never used it. So if you're gonna, I was thinking, well, if you're gonna put out something with your name on and your signature on, you might as well be something that you use. But to each his own. To me, I find that the stop tail bridge really gives you that sustain that you need and better control. What else? One volume knob, 3-way pickup selector, and now onto the pickups, which is one of my secret weapons, I must say. It's the Seymour Duncan, the Fire Blackouts, which is my signature pickups. They look passive, but they are actually active, so it's a battery driven. And it's pretty amazing. It's actually a really high output pickup. It's, I think, 19 dB higher output than any other active pickup on the market, at least from what I know, or by the time when it came out. Yeah, the cool thing about it is like it's active, but it does not really kill your tone. It's, I believe everybody's guitar players in this room, right? So, you know, it does not kill your tone really. It's it really responds very well to the picking, attack, and the dynamics. So it does not have a very tight sound. It has a very big open sound. So if you're looking for this tight kind of sound, this is not your pickup. But if you're looking for a pickup with a lot of harmonics and dynamics, this is your guy. Now on to the variations of the model. Obviously we have 3 price entry levels. We have the JS series, or it's called, yeah, the JS is the first one, right? I believe it's this one right here, isn't it? Which is a really affordable version of this one that I'm holding here, and it's actually a pretty good guitar as well. It's there's some differences, of course. It's like a bolt-on neck. This one is neck through, I believe. Neck through, right? Yeah. So it's a neck through. This one is a bolt-on. Those necks actually are a little bit thinner than the ones that I use. Mine are thicker, but it still feels very nice, plays very well, and it's got the standard Jackson passive pickups. So that's like the low price range, and then we got the one higher, which is the X series, and those come with my Duncan pickups, and it's a neck through guitar as well. And the one that I'm playing, it's obviously the USA custom shop. And actually there's something very cool about this guitar. It's, you know, Fender's and Jackson's master builder. To this day, it's Mike Shannon, who's a legendary builder, and he worked on Randy Rhoads guitars back in the day and a lot of legendary players, so it was really an honor to have this guy work on this guitar. And one thing that also I was discussing here with the Jackson guys, since we're on a clinic tour, is like, yeah, it's, you know, these guitars are very consistent. For me, like I have a few of the custom shops, obviously, when we were getting the prototypes together. And the cool thing is, once we nailed it down and I got a few guitars sent in, they're very consistent. Like I can pick up any guitar and it's exactly the same. which is really rare, I think, especially when it comes to custom shop stuff. That's as far as the guitars goes. What else? Usually I play Black Star amps, but today they didn't have it, and I'm using the sister company of Fender, which is EVH. I love those amps as well, so it's always a good alternative. I'm using this little guy here today, which sounds huge, and I'm using just a delay pedal, and that's about it. So if you guys now have any questions, please raise your hand. Oh, and before we continue with that, I would like just to get the frequently asked questions out of the way. My favorite Aussie solo is Bark the Moon and Mr. Crowley. My favorite Aussie guitar player is all of them. And I got the gig through an audition. So we got that out of the way. So let's move on to some questions if you guys have any. Please raise your hand. Yes, my friend. DR strings. And the gauge is 10 to 56. And I'm tuned down a whole step. Yes?
So I guess most of us in here are not professional players. So what's the process of actually getting ready to do, say, a large scale touring? Because I imagine there's a lot of work in there that none of us really get to see on a daily basis.
Very good question, actually. Putting a tour together, I mean, yeah, it might sound like, oh, we have 2 weeks or 3 weeks of gigs, but it takes actually months of preparation. I mean, booking the gigs is one part of it, but then it's all the logistics, sorting out, how you're going to travel, how you're going to get from A to B, flights, where you're going to be picked up from, where you're going to be dropped off. Of course, rehearsals with the band and getting everything ready together for the tour, and a lot of other costs, like crew. You have to have people that are of a standard, of a certain level of professionalism to help you with, if you can afford crew, of course. What else? And then, there's the marketing, you gotta be on it. Make sure all the gigs are advertised, merchandise, and all kinds of other boring logistics like taxes. Like sorting out all those things. And yeah, sure, you might have like a manager that does all that stuff, but I'm the kind of guy who's like a control freak, so I have to keep an eye on everything, and that takes months actually of preparation and sorting all that stuff out and make sure all these people are on the same page. Everybody is ready to do this, and then of course you have to be ready for mishaps on the road. Sometimes a gig might get canceled, or somebody might go bankrupt, or whatever. Or I don't know, maybe you drive through the snow and you can't make it to the gig, or I don't know, so things like that. That can be very costly, because a day on the road costs thousands of euros actually. And then there's the playing part of it. Once you have all that stuff done, and of course you're well rehearsed and off you go, then you have a show to play, and so it's a lot of things to worry about and to think about. So for those of you that think it's a lot of booze and drugs and sex, that's not really what's happening on tour.
Oh yes, it is.
Maybe back in the day, I don't know. Come on, I'm trying to be nice here. Yeah. I hope I didn't discourage you. Anybody else? No? Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You are control freak, like for the tour and the things around. Are you the same at the stage, at the gig with your band members? Like, have to be in control of what's going on?
No, not like that. I mean, of course, I'm a very. I guess I'm one of those guys in the band that is also very a little bit business-minded, aside from being the musician and writing the songs and stuff. But being in a band, I like to hang out with the guys, and I want everybody to have a good time, feel relaxed, and But if somebody fucks it up, no. Yeah. Anybody else, fellas?
Yeah. What are the frets?
Good question.
Jumbo.
Jumbo, I think jumbo or extra jumbo, do you know? Stainless steel jumbo. Actually, those frets, they are a little bit curved. They're not like the flat frets. Because I have a flat neck, and we got, I don't know, something like that. The frets are round. Yeah. Yes. Oh no, sorry. Yeah.
Is it more difficult to play your style with this ordinary guitar than the one you're standing with?
No, I actually have a couple of those at home, and I play on them a lot. And
The 19 dB gain, what's the difference?
oh, this is like two different worlds. You know, passive pickups and active pickups is totally different thing.
But what's the difference?
Well, this one has a preamp installed, so
Yeah, but I think the technique when you play, is it easier this one or is it?
well, I prefer on the active pickups because, of course, it's you have a lot more high output and a lot more gain.
Oh, it's a gain.
Yeah, there's a lot of gain, on this one. So it's kind of like having a booster built in the pickup, in a way, if I can make it more simple. Yeah. Whereas if I would use like a passive pickup, I'll probably need to have like a little booster pedal for the solos, like most guitar players do. But now I don't need it. Actually, there's a lot of sounds in this pickup. A lot of guitar players don't realize how many sounds there are just on the volume knob. You can go from something like there's like you get those kind of crunchy tones, and then you go full blast.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it's really good actually. We worked a lot on this actually. What was it, like 6-7 years ago with the Duncan guys? We did a lot of prototypes. They would used to send me pickups out on the road, and like my guitar tech would mount it. He would mount a prototype on one of my guitars for the night, and I would go out and play a song with it, and then I would get like the normal guitar back, and I would just get a feel to compare on stage for a song or two, and then I would get back to them with comments. Oh, this one needs like more treble or whatever. And we went through quite a few prototypes.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many, but it was a long process, but it was totally worth it. Yeah. So okay, maybe I can play another song for you guys.
What should I play?